step 1 says to screenshot a part of your map. So the way that we're going to do that is we're going to go to the maps area, and I'll put these directions up here just so you can clearly see what they are as we go through them, but you should have them in front of you as well. So to do this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the Maps app on my iPad, and you'll see the Maps app is on there. Everyone's got it on there already. I'm going to go to my area, and I'm going to do LA for me. So as you can see on my iPad, I have California on my iPad, and I'm going to take this guy. I'm going to focus mainly on Southern California for this example, but you'll take your area, and you're going to screenshot it. You guys all know how to screenshot. Not going to worry about that. So now I have a screenshotted image of my map, and I'm going to go ahead and crop out the stuff I don't need. For example, the little search bar, and the time, the battery, and the Wi-Fi. And then I'm going to crop out like some of Mexico and Arizona. I'm going to bring it in a little bit more into focus, really focusing in on my area, which I'm going to focus on the bottom half of California right now. And so that's what I'm going to do. And a little bit more here, and then I'm going to go down a little bit more. So here we have, I cropped this guy out, and so you can see I've cropped it out, and then I'm going to hit done. And so I now have saved to photos this image in my photo gallery. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go online, and I'm going to search up weather, and then I'm going to search up symbols, PNG. You need, when we're going to put weather symbols on the top of this map, they need to be PNG, which is a type of image. So you're going to search that up just on the internet, and if I do that, weather symbols, PNG, which is JPEG, this is just another type of image. And then I'm going to go to images. It's the ones with the checkered background. So as I can see, I've got several of them here. And I'm going to select one of them. Here it is. And it's got that checkered background. And there's it is. I found it. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to tap it. I'm going to hold it down for a little bit. I'm going to tap it. And it's a little tricky because if you just tap it once, it won't work. I'm going to hold it down. And I'm going to play this game. And eventually, what I'm going to get, if you do it just right, and it takes a few minutes to do, and it's always tricky about which ones let you do it, is you're going to get this little save image box. That will let you save this image directly to your camera roll. So I'm going to save this little icon. Now, the icon that you save should match the weather that's going to be in your report. Does it make sense? It shouldn't be just random weather. It should be matching what's going to go on there. So I saved this image. And now, I believe that covers step 1. Now, step 2, I'm going to go to Keynote. And this is where I'm going to put my iPad up on the screen so you can see exactly what I'm doing as we go through it. So I'm going to project myself up on the screen here. And I'm going to go through Keynote, which you all should have downloaded. And if you don't have it downloaded, you're going to get that downloaded for me so you can do your project tomorrow. So your job, if you don't have Keynote, is to get Keynote on your iPad. And I'll answer questions at the end. So here's my iPad, and I apologize. It took me a while to do this project, so there's a bunch of really random stuff in my galleries. Just go. So here's Keynote. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a presentation, blank presentation. Get out of your way so you can see. Let this load. I'll put this over here so you can see it. Sorry about that. Double tap to edit. We're going to get rid of that. Double tap to edit. We're going to get rid of that. I'm going to insert by pressing the plus button. Photo, and I'm going to insert the map that I just took. So I'm going to go to my camera roll. I'm going to insert this map, and I'm going to spread it out. So this map is on the slide. So I have a full map, and it's going to look like that. And I'll crop this out later. Don't worry about having it fit completely, as long as it's a good size map. Okay? The next thing I need to do is I need to put my icons on top of this map. So I'm going to go to Insert again, Photo, from my camera roll, inserts that little plus symbol. I'm going to select this guy. Now, because it was a PNG, notice how it automatically goes right on top of it. And I can just, as soon as I can grab it, give me a second to, you got to click right on it. And I can move it around. And I can, oh, I missed it. Come here. Come here. No, look up. He's tricky to grab. There he goes. And you can move him around to where the different area is that needs the weather. I'm going to insert another one. I'm going to use this guy. Mr. Billick, this one has this checkered background still. What do I do? Okay. You're going to go to this paintbrush. You're going to go to Instant Alpha, which is under Image. And you're going to drag across the colors to make it transparent. So I'm going to drag across some colors to make it transparent. I'm going to drag across this guy. There we go. And I'm going to hit done. Now this one is also transparent. Remember that's instant alpha. Oh, now it's gone. There it goes. And I can drag this and move this where I want it to. Okay? Now, they're on my weather map. Now it's looking more like a weather map, right? So now what I want to do is I'm going to animate these guys. So I'm going to select it. Not that. I'm going to select this guy. Nope, not the map. This guy. I'm going to animate, which is the last little button here. I'm going to have this guy build in by appearing. Done. And then this one I want to build in. Come here. Not the map itself. There it goes. Build in, appear, done. Okay. So now these are animated. That means if I press play, the map is just going to show up, but every time I press it, that one shows up, and then that one shows up. Okay? Now what we're going to do later is we're going to set up a timer to show up, to see how long it takes for those guys to show up. So as we're talking through our weather report, I can talk about the weather showing up over the coast, and then that guy's going to appear. And then I can say, now if you look over in Death Valley, and then that guy's going to appear. It's like a real weather report. Okay, so we're done with this one, so we're going to go to Presentations. And I'm going to take this guy, I'm going to select it and hold it down, and I'm going to say Share. And then I'm going to say Export as a movie. Now we're going to skip go to next slide after. There's no other slide. We're going to skip that. But where it says go to next build, that means the next animation. So how long do I need between each animation to explain? I'm going to make it about 14 seconds. That's about, I have 14 seconds to explain the weather for each of the icons. I'm going to export it. And then I'm going to save it to my camera roll. So now we have a movie of the slideshow that I just made. First it's going to be the map, and then it's going to be each one of those appearing. And it's going to be in a movie form. So that should walk us through step 2. I'm going to say save video. Awesome. Now, my goal is to get this app onto your iPads, the perfect video app, and it shouldn't be very hard to do. So I'm going to get this app onto your iPad. And here's what you're going to do next. I'll show you. Ignore my face. So, we're actually not going to worry about the perfect video app right now, because we're going to take a quick break and we're going to swing. So I'm going to have a volunteer come up. And the volunteer is going to, I already have it picked, the volunteer is going to film me, but they're going to leave a large space to my side, where the map is actually going to get inserted. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to insert my camera, or put my camera, okay? So now what I'm going to do, back up that way for me. Thank you. Again, you don't want any students. So this person is going to, excellent, this person's going to hold it, and this person's going to film me, but they're going to be back far enough to where, there's a lot of space over my shoulder here. Is there a lot? Oh, that's perfect. Okay, go ahead and press record. So today's forecast, as you can see, in Southern California, we have a little bit of rain that's going to develop, clouds that's going to develop in this area off the coast, and then that's because an area of, warm front's in there, and the warm front's going to have a lot of clouds, a little partly sunny skies maybe, and over in Death Valley we're going to have a little bit other area, as you can see over there. Okay, so I haven't obviously rehearsed this. Okay, we have filmed this weather report. Bless you, it's okay. Now that we've filmed this weather report, what we're going to do is we're going to go to the app picture video. And now I have my weather report in here that I'm going to use. It should be somewhere in my camera roll. If it actually filmed, I don't know if it actually did. So we're going to probably film it again because it was a little bit tricky. I think it just cut out, which happens. Oh, there it is. Okay, so it is in my camera roll. So I just got to go back to here. Sorry, I have to close out. I have to start a new project. Go to my camera roll. There's my video, and done. So I don't need to worry about any of these settings for right now. So there's my project. So what I'm going to do to insert my weather map video is I'm going to select this guy down here, and it's going to bring up the edit screen. I just tapped it on the bottom. And I'm going to go over on the bottom to where it says PIP video, picture-in-picture video. I'm going to select that one on the bottom. And then the very, very bottom, it says Film Plus. I'm going to add in a film. That film I'm going to add in is this guy right here that I just shot. And I'm going to crop this guy out because now I can crop it a little bit to get exactly what I want in my shot. I want all of it. I'm going to hit done. And now I can move this guy around to where I want it to be. And I can resize it if I want to resize it. I can make it smaller or I can make it larger. And I can move this guy around to where I want it to be. Okay? Let's take a look and see how we did. Okay. Done. And now we're going to do this. Morning we have a little bit of rain that's going to develop, clouds that's going to develop in this area off the coast, and then that's because an area of, warm front's in there, and the warm front's going to have a lot of clouds, a little partly sunny skies, maybe. Then over in Death Valley, we're going to have a little bit other area, as you can see over there. So, obviously, I didn't really plan that out, but this is where you're going to have time to write out your entire script and have it line up with your video. So as you give your weather report, you can have your images showing up. Your map will represent the icons, and you can talk through. You can add text if you want to on the bottom. So you can make a full detailed weather report if you want to go above and beyond and maybe try to motion to where things are going to show up like your meteorologist. You can do that. But planning all this out and filming all of this and making sure it looks good. And this one's not cropped well, obviously. Yeah, it's not in the location that I want it to be. I prefer it to be a little bit closer to me and maybe over my shoulder or something. But that's all things that you get to do and you get to play around with on your own. Now, that's next step. I'm going to take this guy. We're going to pretend it's done. We're going to pretend it's amazing. We're going to export it. We're going to save it. 1080p because I want to see myself in HD. We're going to save this guy to our camera roll. And the next thing we're going to do, that's step 3. All done. We're going to export it. We're going to save it to our camera roll. Now that we have a complete weather report that looks great, and the very last place we're going to take this guy is we're going to take it over to iMovie. And in iMovie, which many of you should have experience using iMovie, if movie has been exported to your camera roll, all right, perfect. Many of you have experience in iMovie. In iMovie, that's where you can add a title. That's where you can add more text. That's where you can edit out things. And that's where you can link together the 2 separate weather reports into one project. Again, it should be about 30 seconds for each person. They should be filmed on the same iPad. Keep it about a minute long. Each one's about 30 seconds. You edit them together. You have a little title. It says weather report. And then you can add some text about like maybe amount of precipitation. And then you have your little weather map. And that's that. And then you can export it. You can add this little sound if you want. And then you can export it. And then that'll be a complete weather report that you can turn into your drive. And those are the full instructions for the weather report.